this is Bernard. Uh, so we have seen a lot of people like saying things about um like where'd all the people with DID in 2020 go and things like that, and saying like how everyone in 2020 was faking and DID isn't a real disorder and all that shit. Um and we just wanted to talk about how people aren't being, they're not considering a lot and they're not thinking about it in the right way. Um, so, yes, a lot of people from 2020, like, there's people from 2020. There was a lot of systems in 2020 on TikTok, and they talked about DID a lot, and people like the community back then was different than it is now, because DID isn't a trend. It's a real thing. It's a disorder. Um and back then people treated it like a trend and didn't really talk about the seriousness of it, and just like the fun parts of it or whatever. And DID isn't, it's a disorder, so it's hard sometimes, it's difficult, and we have to live our lives differently than other people. It is hard, it is a disorder. But there are some good parts of it. There are good days, and there's a community of meeting people like you. But so many people are saying like from 2020, like everyone was faking and DID isn't real. So we're still here. Um I don't want to say people are faking. I don't want to ever accuse anyone of faking a disorder that there isn't proof that they're faking. Um or actually at all. I mean, if there's genuine proof that someone is faking a disorder, then I don't know, like maybe talk to them about it instead of immediately saying they're faking. But we don't want to say anyone is faking. We don't personally want to fake claim anybody. Um, but we also don't want to um listen to people who are spreading misinformation about it and saying they have it. They, even if they're spreading misinformation about it, they could still have it and they just don't know a lot about it. So we don't want to say they're faking, but we don't want to listen to people spreading misinformation. Um so but anyways, people are asking why it was such a trend in 2020, and wondering why they don't see systems now a lot. Um that's because honestly it was kind of a thing in 2020. Um I never want to say a disorder was or could ever be a trend, but there was more people talking about DID back then than I'm seeing now. And that is just because 2020 was a different time than this is, and 2020 was a time where a lot of people embraced themselves and didn't care much about what other people thought, and that's usually a good thing. Um, and we kind of want to just reintroduce systems to people and say that we're still here, we still exist, um, and we are not a trend. Systems aren't just a fun little roommates in your head, like, oh, haha, my favorite character. Like, it's not that. It's, there are some good parts of it where you can talk to people about it and you find different parts of yourself and meet new people who share things with you, but there are bad parts of it. And the bad parts do need to be talked about more just so people understand DID more. And yeah. So we just want to do our best to educate people on DID. We're not a doctor. We can't diagnose anyone, but we know a lot about DID because we've been researching it for a while, and we just want to educate people as much as we are capable of doing. So, yeah. Um thank you.